All right, Rand, number 3 on our list, Deontae Lawson. And unofficially 6'2", 239, so he's at the higher end in terms of weight-wise, which is a funny thing to say about an off-ball linebacker, 239. He played almost exclusively in the box. They would move him occasionally. I counted 4% of the time they moved him to the slot. One thing that I thought was noteworthy, he's been one of Alabama's permanent team captains. That probably speaks to his leadership abilities. That's incredibly important when you're talking about guys at the next level. Athletic, he's physical. He takes on blocks coming downhill. He consistently fills gaps. He will stay blocked on occasion, but he plays with his hair on fire, and he always ends up around the ball. Wrap-up tackler, but he'll occasionally whiff because he's one of the things BMAC's DB coach told him at Florida State that I often come back to when I'm watching these guys is you'd rather tell a player whoa than sick him. So if you're coming downhill out of control, you can say dial it back a little bit. But if you're coming down tentative and getting blocked and can't get out blocks, that's a whole other conversation. So I love the idea that he's maybe a little bit out of control at times, but he's trying to make a play, trying to send a message. And I'm fine with that. I mean, you got to get better at it, so on and so forth. But that's sort of where I'm coming out with that. What did you think of Deontae based on what you saw from 2024?
Yeah, I mean, my last line I'm looking at it, he's just a good, reliable football player. And again, that's what you're looking for. And like you said, in this graphic that just went off, he has the C on his chest. He's a captain. This guy's a really good communicator, and it showed in the graphic. You can see him communicating. He got everyone aligned and got everyone lined up, which shows his mental capabilities. I thought he was really instinctive. I thought he processed and he keyed and diagnosed quickly. He, like you said, he's good size. He's even at 6'2", almost 240, he still has kind of that angular athletic build to him. And so you saw his athletic movement skills, in which I like that a lot. Like you talked about, he pulls the trigger and gets downhill in his block destruction. Now, the one phase, again, and this is something that guys will work with him on the next level, he's downhill, he's physical, he's aggressive in it, but he takes on everything with his shoulders. And you like to see him use, because he has good length, you'd like to see him use that length, use his hands better to create that separation between him and the offensive lineman or whomever is trying to block him, and allows him to get off quickly. But, another thing you saw on tape, he did have the ability to switch it up and out athlete and slip a block. So he showed that in some of the games that I watched. And then, I wanted to see him be a little bit heavier on contact as a tackler, have more knockback, but I still thought he was a reliable tackler. And then I thought he matched up well with tight ends and running backs and man coverage. And I thought his zone awareness was good. So, again, the only way to sum it up is just a good, reliable football player. I think this guy will be a starting, linebacker in the league. I think he'll be a good Mike backer. And he's a guy that will, depending on how he tests and how his offseason goes, like, he's a guy that could potentially creep in the bottom of day one. But, probably right now, probably looking at more day 2 right now.
Yeah, and looking at my notes, I noted that he doesn't get off inline blocks as well as C.J. Allen, who we'll talk about, or our guy Whit Weeks, who we just talked about. But I thought when they used him as an edge rusher, he got after it. He played with a little juice coming off the edge, so I appreciated that as well.